I shouldn't have to apologize because I have a little person. How the fuck do you think that society is going to go on if we don't keep having these little people? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why y'all doing that? Society needs to stop.
But it's almost like you have to be apologetic because you have children.
Well, hello.
It got all quiet. I hit record and we were like, hello, Mo. I'm tripping today. So you go get what you gonna get. Enjoy.
Same. I don't even care about the topic, so this should be interesting.
Well, we've talked about it before. I mean, you've mentioned, and then you can bring a different perspective.
Years ago, we haven't talked about it recently. So
let's talk about it. Hey, I'm feeling a little Johnish today.
Hey, are we doing live tonight?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Is it warm where you're at? You got a short sleeve shirt on, showing some skins.
I'm indoors.
I'm indoors and I'm freezing, so you like to keep that heater on 90 though.
Right? Still don't.
And then wonder why you sweating.
I need to get enough one of those efficiency readings. How you doing, girl?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good.
Ooh, I stayed up late. I stayed up late watching Love is Blind.
Ooh, it's good. It's juicy, right? I can't wait. When it's done,
I hate them though, but I gotta watch it. Yes. Next episode should, because the next stuff's coming out Friday, right? So.
Oh, it's Friday. Cool. Okay.
The 31st, and then we can do a wrap up.
Yes, I can't wait. Ooh.
Anyways, what are we talking about?
You tell me. I didn't look at those.
Okay. So it's always the TikToks. Well, this woman, I followed her account. I should probably drop a name or whatever her name is. Anna Gildersleeve. Anna Gildersleeve. But she's a woman. She's from Spain. She came to the U.S. on a track scholarship. Go girl.
Nice.
Got married. Now she's got 1 or 2 toddlers. And she does these get ready with me videos. And she talks about just culture differences and things she's noticed from being from Spain and with the U.S. and what's going on here. And I sent you a TikTok about why parents are stressed and messed up here. And it led to work-life balance. And it talked about just the culture around children and just having kids in general and the kids' place in society here. And I thought that was interesting because through the years we've had conversations about, I went to a bar and I saw this woman with her baby here, or stuff like that. And so I just thought it was interesting. Her take was very interesting. And
then you sent another one. I didn't see it.
Oh, I don't know. I'd be sending TikToks in my sleep, so I don't I don't know. But I mean, there's this idea, I guess, that there's adult activities, adult spaces where children should not be.
Yes.
And that's a very American concept, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it goes back to the nuclear family, the way we're set up, just separated. It's not like Europe. So I know when I moved to New York, I was like, what is this? And I still don't think kids should be in a bar where there's no food being served. I went to supposed speakeasy and there were strollers in there. I'm like, y'all need to get your life. Nobody told y'all to have them kids. Now you're going to sit here and ruin my time. And I'm paying $20 for a drink while your damn kids are running around.
How does it? Oh, see, so it's not kids, it's bad kids.
Yeah, it's people with no home training. If your kid is sitting there quiet, that's fine. But
yeah,
first of all, why are they letting them in a place that only serves alcohol?
Card them babies.
Right? It's under, no kids under 18. But then also I've been to places with kids. So but kids places that they change into adult places, arcades. Yeah. And it was no one under 18. So I came with my little 6-year-old homie. And, and there was a line for the ID line. And then I was like, oh, we can't go in. And they were like, oh yeah, as long as they're with you. I was like, yeah, hey, let's get it.
So then what's the difference then between bringing a baby or a 6-year-old and bringing a 17-year-old who doesn't have a ID? Can they sit with me at the bar just like my 6-year-old friend would? Or
they probably could. Yeah,
that's crazy.
There's probably some tore up stories. Kids going and getting drunk with their mom, sneaking them drinks.
Oh, Lord. But I see that's a bigger conversation though, I feel like, and that's very telling about our culture, our society, is that going to a place that serves alcohol automatically means it's an adult space where people are going to get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and so what she says in her TikTok, and I like it, is there's, you know, drinking everywhere. You can grab a beer at the park where the kids are playing after school. It's not that everybody's drinking to get fucked up, which is what we do here. They're just having a wine or beer after work or after the school day. And so I think that's indicative of one of the problems we have here, is that it's not normalized. Yeah, I shouldn't feel bad saying that. It's not normalized to have a glass of wine after work. Whereas it's like, oh, you're drinking in front of your kids. No, but it's not that it's not that it's normalized, but just it's taboo. Like, kids can't see it. Why can't kids see you have a glass of wine? Why can't I don't know
kids... where that exists.
Well, I feel like it's like you're not supposed to drink in front of your kids. You don't take them to bars, right? Why can't you? Like, why is a bar automatically an adult space?
Because
if there's food served,
for them to do. If there's no food, if there's no food, what's there to do?
But what's there to do? What the fuck is there for me to do at a kid's place? I still gotta go. Like, I feel like
got kids,
but I feel like it's just life. Like, kids should be able to come with you.
You gonna take a kid to a Freaknik? Like,
I mean, I don't go there.
Like their boundaries. Kids,
that's like, different, because what you're talking about is sexual now. You're talking about something that's sexually explicit. There's things
people
going
be going out to the bar trying to have some sex too.
But is that appropriate?
Have you seen people having sex?
But I'm also saying that's not appropriate behavior. I mean, you could see people doing inappropriate, but you could see people doing inappropriate behavior at the damn train station. People fucking on the platform. You know what I mean? So that's again a larger conversation.
And also culture here is different. So like in Europe, for instance, if you go to like a brewery,
care about their kids.
It's gonna be kids everywhere. You know, like it's a family thing. Like you go to Oktoberfest, the kids are gonna be running around. You go to a bar, the kids are going to be running around. They're going to be like, it's just the culture, and there's no age limit on drinking. Like anybody can drink. And I mean,
there is an age limit.
That's a difference.
It's a lower age. It's a lower age, but that's an age limit.
But still, it's not like here.
I think it's
like
16.
21. I mean, I'll have to double check, but where you have to be 21 or something like that, and it's completely different. I think it's so taboo here to
exactly. That's what I'm talking. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Maybe I wasn't saying it properly, but it
so
is taboo
here that people drink
act up
so much. But it's like, I lived briefly in London, and people were drinking like they're drunks there. Like they literally stand outside after work and get sloppy drunk.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's Western culture. Like I have no idea, but
I think it's definitely a cult. When I was in Holland, I loved that things were not taboo. I mean, you have the red light district, obviously. You've got people drinking, people smoking, sex is not taboo, all of these things. And I remember just being so like pleased with what I was seeing. They were like children out with red lipstick. I mean, 11-year-old hot red lipstick, big hoop earrings, doing things that were deemed adult or inappropriate for children to do. But the most well-behaved, most respectful, family-focused, you know what I mean? So I think that we focus so much on your kids shouldn't be here, rather than why don't we all just raise like decent human like if everybody's behaving and doing what they're supposed to do. I don't know why. I think it's because of the taboo. I don't know if I'm communicating. It's because things are like off limits. Kids shouldn't see this. Don't do this. That kids grow up to be fucked up and do those things. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's the selfishness. I don't know if like on the parents' parts or what, but there's been articles, for instance, like someplace where you go and you spend $600 a plate and people brought a baby. And it's like when the baby starts crying and stuff, why not go outside? Like
you should. I agree with that.
Everybody else suffer, and I think it's the selfishness of it.
Damn, you said suffer.
Yeah, it's like, why are you making
a child being upset is the whole world suffering? Yeah, that's really sad. That's sad to me.
That's sad to me that like you got to be so selfish that you gotta like ruin everybody's $600 meal. So
I mean, that's
going
one thing.
Outside
a $600 meal, but like a kid on an airplane, let's say, bring it to something every day. But people are like, there should be kid-free airlines, which is like fine if you want to do that, but to make it seem as if I've flown with babies. And my babies I breastfed. So as soon as we got on the plane, your mouth is on it and we are going to sleep. And that's basically how it went at that age. My kids are pretty well behaved on planes. So but I hate it because you walk on the plane, people are like, oh shit.
Here we go.
You know what I mean?
But see,
But it's
I used to be like
like
that.
like the
when I was
parents
younger.
like it. Like we want our kids to act up. I mean, come
And
on,
like you
have
don't know,
some
like,
compassion.
but as you grow up, like when I was younger, I thought that, but then it's like you don't know what's going on. These people, somebody could have died. They could be going on vacation. Like who cares? But it's like people are such assholes. Period on planes. I just hate
right,
planes.
especially
Period.
today.
Like,
God, people
I hate it.
up.
Like, ooh, I hate it. Like, I can see why people rage out. Like, because it's like you're confined in a space with people and you don't have any control. Like, literally, I just I get on the plane, I close my eyes and put my headphones in. And even that, sometimes you can't escape if some asshole was kicking you or something. So,
yeah,
it's just like try to avoid it. But people are just nuts. They're losing
but
it.
there's this whole with parents, like, oh, you get on the plane, maybe bring snacks and say sorry, oh, like a little something, sorry, my kid, may act up, and it's like I shouldn't have to apologize because I have a little person. How the fuck do you think that society is going to go on if we don't keep having these little people? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, why y'all doing that? Society needs to stop.
But it's almost like you have to be apologetic because you have children, and I think that's really sad. And I think she speaks in her TikTok about like in Spain we love children, and I feel like here we don't. We don't love kids. If it's at all any inconvenience, I made the choice not to have kids. So why should I have to deal with your kid? Because we live in a world. I made the choice not to surround myself with Karens, but I got to see these bitches everywhere. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's part of the world. And for people to start feeling,
but you got to raise your kids. And I think that's the problem.
But how do you raise them if you're not allowed to bring them in public spaces? How are they going to learn to be in public if you can't bring them in public?
There are plenty of public spaces. Why you have to go to the few that aren't for them? Like, why
but it's not. Well, I mean, I'm not talking specifically about a $600 restaurant. I mean, I wouldn't even take I don't trust myself at a $600 a plate restaurant.
I'm trying to go to 11 Madison Park. Anybody would take me there.
But I'm just saying, like, if you go to a damn claim jumper or like a Red Robin or something,
yeah, I would expect kids to be there,
right? But you'll still get stuff. There'll still be people looking like,
oh, them. I would laugh in their face.
Or I also think, and I also feel like it's your wedding, do what you want to do. But like when people are like, no children, I'm like, oh, that's
stupid. Sad. That's a family thing.
You have a family, right? If you have family, and what you're saying is, if you have children, you can't go.
That's what I was going to say. There's no space for kids,
right?
They try to make it seem like, and I don't mean what you mean, though. There's no mental space for kids. Like they don't expect kids. Like there's nowhere for kids to be kids. I guess like Chuck E. Cheese, like I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like,
well, we don't understand that kids are kids. Exactly. Yeah. And that's a hard thing to put on children.
That's why it's
they're
so
children.
Much disease. And then they get scared, and then it's like, hey, I'm just going back to my own
trauma.
Like,
trauma.
I was like a robot. Like I got to be good.
Or just what you were told: children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah, like that's.
And it seems like we don't even want to see them though, because you may risk the chance of hearing them. God forbid.
But I'm scared because I'm not even bothered by kids anymore. Like there was
good. You shouldn't be bothered. That's so sad.
Yeah, no, I used to be bothered. I used to be bothered by these kids.
But it's just that's weird to me. Even as an adult, before I had children, I wasn't. I never looked at them. I mean, if I was at a bar, I was like, why that baby up in here? You know, like places that are obviously like adults are going to get drunk. They're going to hook up and meet people. It's weird to see a baby, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm bothered.
When I was in Brooklyn,
baby.
like in Park Slope, for instance, moms get together. Apparently, like beer helps with your lactation and everything.
Yes.
So they would get together and have some beer. And I think that's perfectly fine. Hold on. I think that's perfectly fine in a, like middle of the day, whatever they want to do. But as far as like, I've been to a bar and with my friend, I've been to a bar, like it was all black, no food or anything. And we were in
they got their
stroller.
Babies.
And
was the baby sleeping? Crying? What was the baby doing?
Even my friend was like, my friend lasted like 2 seconds and she was like, I can't do this. I gotta go. Like it just didn't feel right. So I think there's like a boundary, like there are boundaries. And then the people are like we said, people do get out of control. And if you want to protect your kids, that can happen.
But that's on the parent to protect their kids. So it's, if you're not part of that equation, to have some kind of a negative whatever you're saying,
I'd love it. You want to bring your kid to there, I'll be like, fuck this, oh yes, fuck everything. Like, you want to be in adult space, I'm gonna give you adult space. That's how I was.
I would not care.
But now I'm like, you're in a city, like
you share the space.
You share space with everyone, kid, and I feel like there just needs to be more kids playing outside, like kids being able to do kids stuff. Not that
Yeah.
they can't go to a,
How
like,
else are they supposed to come up? How do you
Europe
grow
and
up
stuff.
if you're not allowed out to do stuff?
They're just out there shooting.
I'm gonna make a comparison here, and this is the thing that I feel like people are more accepting of bringing your dirty ass dog into a restaurant, into a grocery store, into a whatever than a child. And I think that
people like dogs more than kids.
But it's like, how am I at a grocery store getting food? I'm buying food.
Human food. Yeah.
And you have a dirty ass dog in the cart doing God knows what.
Wait, they got them in the cart?
Dogs. Yeah, they have them sitting up in the cart or wearing them in a baby carrier, you know what I mean? Or whatever. But it's like, that's accepted. Oh, you're just a fur mommy or whatever, or a dog mommy. Yeah. That's cute. That's fine. Love your dog. But like, there are human spaces. Can we worry about the human spaces more than like children don't belong in a restaurant? Like, I think it's
another
crazy.
thing. I'm curious. You have a dog. Like I'm getting a dog at some point, and I had a dog growing up. But I feel like the dog people these days, there's something wrong with them. Like they can't live without the dog, and it's like,
and they take them everywhere.
Yeah, like it's almost like they can't function
unless it's a service animal. Like a true,
I think that's what everybody is acting like.
A true service animal, because I got papers for my dog. My dog ain't serving nothing. Okay?
My cats are emotional support.
Well, that's what my dog is. But it's and this is going to be insensitive of me to say, aren't all animals emotional support in some way? Like I feel like that's why you get them, right?
Yeah.
For companionship and love.
I agree.
So but you get them on the plane, and you want to talk about it on the planes. And I've seen some big ass dogs on the plane.
They're not doing it anymore, right? They can't do that.
I haven't seen it in a minute. I mean, I haven't been flying all over the place, but I'm just like barking on the flights.
Yeah.
To me, it's like,
that's unacceptable.
That's an animal. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole animal.
Yeah.
And they can travel where my dog travels in the animal cargo area.
Oh no, they can die. Oh no.
But what am I going to bring a big ass 75-pound dog on the actual plane?
No,
in the cabin.
Country. You gotta do like my friend, just drive cross country.
Well, I don't know, but that's how my dog has flown.
I'm getting a little dog. I mean, I'm getting a beagle most likely, and so I'll be able to put him in the carrier, in a seat, or get him a seat. But I don't know.
It makes me sad. Not so much as a mom, because I mean, like, I'm not trying to take my kids anywhere, anyways. But just it makes me sad that we're like. Because I'm listening to her talking her TikTok, and she's like, yeah, you're at a restaurant. Oh, heaven forbid you're out past 7. Now you're a shitty parent because you got your kids out past 7. And it's like, what the hell? Or like if you're having dinner at a restaurant, put the chairs together and let your baby sleep right there. Oh, but you look bad. You probably have CPS called on you because you got your kids sleeping in the corner. Right. But it's it's something I've experienced this. I've had looks and stuff like, oh, that baby's out late at night. Oh, this, you're drinking a beer with the baby in the baby carrier. Yeah, I am.
You freaking alky.
But it's like, that's the thought, because the only time people drink here is to get fucked up. We can't just have.
But they do it at barbecues, even at the kids' birthday parties. So that's what I don't understand.
Yes.
First of all, and I think this goes back to people need to mind their business. Everybody in everybody's business, and this is why I feel like cheated that I probably won't have kids, because I feel like I want to see, because I wish a motherfucker would like.
Right, that's where I'm at right now.
You cannot tell me how to raise my kids and how to do you give me look all you want. You sending this kid to college, you raising this kid, teaching this kid how to be
up at night, you up all night, every night with this child. Yeah.
How to be a kind and compassionate person in this world full of y'all assholes. Like, wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah. You need to become a mom. You need to get pregnant. I don't know how you need to make this happen. Adopt, whatever it is you want to do.
I'd be hanging
I need Mo as a mom, because I would love to see it. Oh Lord.
With my little homies, like we go to pizza. Like we went to a pizza place, and I guess like the top of it turns into a club, and we were down, at the bottom having our pizza, like at the pizza shop. I don't know. I feel like I'd be in my own world, so I don't care. Like I'm not
as you should be though,
for people to,
right? Present in your moment.
Yeah, let me enjoy my kid time. Fuck y'all. Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn. Did you know that in Japan, at a very young age, kids can run errands, get on the subway, and just go about life by themselves? And in Finland,
parents leave their children outside to take a nap. They could be dining at a cafe and the kids are perfectly fine alone outside taking a nap. Why can't that happen here? And I can't help but think that both places, the Nordics and in Japan, are quite homogenous. Culturally, not many differences. Yet here in the United States, we have everyone. So is it because of our diversity that we don't trust each other and we don't care about each other enough to watch out for each other and to make sure that kids can live a safe and happy existence? I don't know. You tell me.
In the TikTok, she talks about, though, like parenting as far as like being isolated in the US, and then there it's like there's a lot of community. You pick your kids up from school, you go straight to the park for the kids, and there's usually a cafe or a bar associated with the park for the parents while the kids play. And I'm like, that's a beautiful thing. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Like you could sit outside, enjoy the beautiful weather, have a glass of wine or a beer, your kids are playing, you're socializing with parents, everybody feels safe, you know, everybody's chilling and doing what they do. Like, why can't we have that here? I feel like if you put a cafe or a bar where you could have a beer and stuff, people would act like, they
got zoning. There's probably a zoning that you can't do. Like it's this religious under, you know, supposed separation of church and state, but all this religious undertone to everything.
And then just, you don't want the kids to, in the efforts to protect our children, we are not protecting our children.
You go to a baseball game, what you got? Everybody drunk off of beer.
Big beers. Big old $30 beers.
Yeah, you go to a football game. Those are family events. You go to a hockey game. People fighting, everybody drunk. I went to a lacrosse game for the first time. People drunk, fighting, like they fight in those games.
Are those considered family spaces anymore?
Yes.
Or are those where the men go hang out, whatever? And then, because I went to a Portland Trailblazer, so we took the whole family.
Oh, nice.
But we went, and it was like, I don't know if it was a family night. There were a lot of children there, and there were a lot of all the parents were drinking, and it was normal. Like it seemed
that is
fine,
normal. Yeah.
Right? But I think people would argue, like, okay, because there were some badass kids sitting behind me just yelling, and we had a game, but like yelling inappropriately into my eardrum, like about nothing. I give
the look.
He was like 3, and he was just like, and he was he was on a date with another 3-year-old or 4-year-old. They were cute.
I ain't mad at that. They need to start that shoot the way these pools are.
But this dad came over and was like, okay, to the daughter, you know, we have to be appropriate. No kissing, no. And he was saying, I was like, little girl's 3, but it was kind of cute. Like, okay,
it is cute. Like my friend actually met her boo that way because he was
But is it
out.
Cute?
No, it wasn't at a game, but they were out doing something, and he had his kids, and she was with her friends. And one of his kids came and said something to her, and she started talking to the kid, and then the dad came.
That's
and the rest
beautiful.
is history. Isn't that cute?
Oh, well, you be my mommy.
I'm trying hard. I'm like, that's adorable. So they've been booed up, and they're adorable. So I'm like, sometimes you need the kids to open up them doors.
Yeah, I mean. It would just
but
be
like
really
adults can't go into the playground.
But that's for different reasons. If you don't have a child, if you don't have a child with you, you cannot go to Chuck E. Cheese. You cannot come into Chuck E. Cheese unless you have a child with you, which is for safety, obviously. But I mean, well, Dave and Buster's is fun. I mean, and that's a family space, I guess.
With drinks,
With drinks, yeah.
It's like, why do we have to have drinks everywhere? No, I'm concerned about that.
But I mean, we can have drinks. It's just we don't have to have 10 drinks. I think that's a different conversation. I'm sure we had that conversation earlier about, you know, sobriety and stuff. But I feel like we do a lot of stuff in excess that makes it that these spaces are no longer safe for all of public.
Yeah.
Like the bars, and I think you've lived abroad. The idea of a bar, I mean, there's bars and then there's bars. You know what I mean? Like there's a place where adults are going and, you know, the whole routine, you know, bars closing, we've got to find somebody, hook up, whatever they do, get drunk. And then there's bars that have food and they have games on TV and
some trad music, maybe.
Yeah. So I think that our idea of bars is like a pub, like a drinking or something, a pub, public house. I saw something that said public house the other day and I was like, oh, that's where pub came from. Because I'm dumb. I think some spaces kids should be allowed to be everywhere. I mean, you know, almost everywhere, but they should. Otherwise, how are they going to grow up and learn? And how
They're
are they going to
everywhere.
grow
Here,
up?
come to Philly. Kids are everywhere, and
Really?
everybody pregnant. I'm like, dang.
People doing stuff.
I
It's in
feel
the
cheated,
water.
man.
The water.
The
So
water
y'all
is
say that out
poison,
there?
by the way.
Water? Isn't that a Pennsylvania thing?
I don't know,
Water.
to be honest. I know they say it in New York. Water. Water. They say water here.
Water.
Water, like
Yeah.
water ice. Yeah, the water. There was a latex spill, like on land that leaked
Ooh.
into the Delaware River, so we cannot drink water starting at 3. I'm like, how does that work?
What
Like
is
3
with all
o'clock?
these spills?
I
Everywhere,
feel like it's a
trains
setup.
and boats
It's
and
like a setup. Anyway, I'm gonna get some reverse osmosis stuff. I got to start looking into. I gotta clean my own water. Get my zombie
Damn.
apocalypse kit ready.
Gotta get one of them life straws. Have you seen those?
What's that?
I got Sean one a couple years back. If you're camping or like survivalist type stuff, it's a personal like straw filtration thing. You could go to any stream, drink out of it, and it filters all the stuff out.
Oh, cool. I saw a guy do it with a Berkey. He drank lake water. He cleaned it out.
Damn. Because I know I watch all them shows
Yeah.
where you got to boil the water before you drink it, and you got to do it, like the Naked and Afraids and all that kind of stuff. Damn, we out here
survival
surviving.
skills. Yep. I'm like, damn.
And we worried about a kid on an airplane. Shit.
Kids got places to be. I was a kid on an airplane. So, I mean, I was definitely a kid on an airplane.
I've also been on planes with badass kids. It is what it is. I've been on planes with lots of turbulence. I've been on planes with drunk fools. I've been on planes with people who don't know how to turn the volume off on their phone the whole fucking time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's the thing I've come to realize, and that was what I was trying to say earlier, is that it's not necessarily the kids, it's the behavior of some kids and the way that people are set up, where most adults are acting like children now, that it's not the kids were just, it's like we always say how we try to index people really quickly. Like looking at a kid, you can kind of assume, okay, this person's gonna be bad and cause some kind of disruption. It's not necessarily the case. And now you got adults acting a fool. Some guy was trying to open the exit row somewhere the other day.
On a plane?
Yeah, on the plane.
In flight?
Yeah, he looked like a regular guy too. He looked like a
regular,
like
a regular degular.
He didn't look disheveled or anything. He looked clean. Like, so it's just like, maybe if these kids did get to go outside and do stuff, they would be more accustomed to dealing with all types of people and be better behaved in this world. Because now we're dealing with these adults who don't know how to act. And it's just, I have to take a deep breath, because it's just like, you have to go into this world and deal with people and they don't know how to act. And I don't want to go to jail.
You did that so sweetly. I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
I'm about to correct the situation. But I also feel like it's sad to me. It's for the benefit of the children. How else are they going to grow up? Whatever. But I also think as a society, we have no compassion for other people, including children. Imagine being in a space, being confined in a space when you're not used to, and you're like 3 and your battery dies on your tablet. Your mom brought all the stuff she could to keep you busy and your ears are popping or whatever. I don't know. You don't understand. Like, people aren't allowed to have emotions anymore if it inconveniences another person. Fake. You know, but I mean, like, if a person next to you starts crying on a plane, you're going to be like, what the fuck, this bitch crying?
I'd be crying. I used to cry when I left places.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone's breaking, you never know. Somebody could have died. They're trying to get somewhere, whatever. But it would be, you're uncomfortable dealing with other people. Like, and I don't know if that's a pandemic. That's pre-pandemic. I think it predates that. But just like, how dare you invade my bubble and my space, my vibe I'm trying to create with your emotions or your situation or your whatever. And I know that there's a boundary, of course, or a balance of like, I shouldn't have to deal with your shit. But we live in a society, in a world where you do, to some degree. You can't be put off by other people having feelings. Yeah, I don't know.
You can't, and even it goes to show. I was talking to like not directly related, but similarly to this, my friend, when I were talking about how as women, I think we've talked about this several times too. Like, we're set up like we can't express ourselves. We're not allowed to take up space.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I have been taking my time. Like, I used to try to rush out of the way of people. And then it was like, nobody does that for me.
Exactly.
This is the only life I'm getting. This is the only time that I'm going to be on this earth. And I'm allowed to take up time. I'm to take up space. And I'm allowed to do what I want to do, as long as it's not hurting anyone or like being an asshole. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole to people. But if me living my life in a pure form and with pure intention is bothering you, that's your problem. I'm not going to sit here and worry about it because my life is short. And I like kids and animals more than people, more than
kids are people.
more than adult human beings. So, like the other day, I was at a bar and this guy was next to me, and my friend kept going, and
Hey.
I thought she was saying the guy was cute, and I was just like, whatever, I was ignoring it. And then I saw the bartender doing something. I'm like, he diddling that guy, and I look, and it was a dog. He had a dog.
Oh, the hand under there going like this. What's going on under there? You just saw the hand motion.
And so I got excited, like I got giddy. I was like, what's your dog?
I was gonna say off the handy. You're getting excited to get the handy in a bar.
Nasty. I was like, what's your dog's name? And my friend was like, oh my God, that's so rude. You have to ask their name. I was like, I don't care what the people's names are. I'm not trying to be.
What your name is. I want your dog's name.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be fake. I just want to talk to your dog. And the dog loved me too. We had such a great time. And it was funny because like the other day I met up with my friend. I was like, oh, I miss that dog. Like, forget the human being. And then like, I'm always the one smiling with the kids. Like when we're out, we're always smiling and stuff. Like
they're good with kids. I love it.
I like chillums. I just, and
they're
then
fun.
Like the older I got, like, I don't necessarily believe in bad kids. I believe in bad parenting. But
yeah,
I don't even like, I don't know. I like kids, so I'm not really offended by them. And like I said, I was the one in the bar with my friend and the kids. So,
well, I think that's also a huge part. I mean, not only on the people who don't want the kids there, but as the parent, if I'm bringing my child there and they do misbehave, we got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there because I got to have my
suffer.
drink and my well, because it's suffering for the kid. The kid doesn't need to be out there.
Yes,
if they're going through something. It's suffering for the parents because you're busy trying not to disrupt other people, feeling guilty, trying to deal with your kids, probably not doing the best parenting you can do because you're trying to get them to shut up instead of addressing what the issue is. So you just politely, quickly grab your shit and get out of the situation. Maybe go to the car for a little bit with that kid while the husband or whoever takes care of the other stuff. But you can't just sit there and ignore. It is a part of life, but that's part of the teaching. We're in public. You can't do this in public spaces. Let's go to the car till you can calm down and we're going to come right back. Or we're not.
Yeah. And you know what I like to see? And I've been seeing it a lot is like the dads, like when the baby cry, like the dads will go outside with the kid. Like, and I'm talking about cishet. And I think that's so adorable. Like, it's about time. Like, I love to see it.
I think that's part of, I mean, this could be a whole nother conversation too, is just the gender roles and the parenting. Cause I feel like I remember when I first got married, had my child, I was given advice, by someone on my husband's side of the family that, you got to let him come home and unwind and relax first before you, and I was sitting there thinking, what? Like, when do I get to unwind, and thinking about that. But I think that dads, and again, we're talking about traditional, like cishet, whatever relationships, but like, I think dads are taking a larger role and stepping in and in the parenting and just family life in general, home life.
Yes. I'm here for it.
But I think that's the struggle because there's a conversation about, no, this is not our role. I'm the man, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen that.
That's all the manosphere stuff. Like, it's not their part to do all that. Or just people who are claiming, the Tates, the traditional, type of people. So, I mean, it's really interesting. You're seeing some stay-at-home dads who are killing it. Like, I met a stay-at-home dad when my daughter was in preschool. He could French braid her hair. I was just like, I don't even know how to French braid hair at this point, when my daughter was 3. And, always just doing all the things. It's nice to see something that's out of the norm to show that families work however they need to work, whatever that looks like for that family. So I love it. I love to see it. And moms need help. Shoot, take the kid out so I can eat my food while it's hot. Shoot.
Shoot.
I don't know. I think kids are great. And
yeah, me too.
The problem isn't the kids, like you said, it's probably just behavior and parenting. And it's just one of those things. You could have kids in a lot of spaces without even knowing they're there.
Nope.
Not that that's better. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I was going to say, like, because that's kind of abusive too, because it's like, you don't want the kids to be robots. You can't exist. You can't live in the world. You're not allowed to take up space.
Yeah. Or like, don't take them in a place where there is nothing for them. Like you said earlier, there's no space for nothing for them. So I always have a bag of activities. Like if I'm going somewhere and I know, hey, this may not be the most fun place. You've got some coloring you could do. You got a Play-Doh, you got a whatever. Like we gonna make it a kid space for you because not everything is fun. I mean,
mm-hmm.
And I don't know if
Life
that's
is
bad.
fun.
Maybe he's supposed to learn it's not fun. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I think most parents are just doing. We don't know. Shoot. Because coming up, I was brought into spaces that were not for children, and I was told to to sit down and be quiet, seen and not heard.
Yep,
behave.
same.
And I could be bored out of my mind. I will be counting things on the ceiling, just sitting there quiet, hands folded in my lap, behaving, because if you didn't behave, you know, you got some stuff. And so that's not fair either. I mean, you're teaching them to behave, but it's also like, hey, I'm 4, 5, 6 years old. I'm not supposed to be sitting still for hours, bored.
And I became proud. It became a sense of pride at how much I could neglect myself for other people. It became a sense of
as
pride,
adults,
like,
even.
Yeah, like I can be. I'll never forget out because I went to college at 16, and I remember I had gone to a smaller school, and I was flying home, and my dad picked me up, and the lady I was sitting next to was like, "Oh, what did she say?" Because this is back in the day before, you know, you had to stop at the door and all that stuff. You could go into the airport to the gate. And she was like, "Oh, she's so well behaved." And I'm like 16, like where?
Yeah.
And my dad got mad about that. My dad was so mad. And me, I was like, "I'm proud. Look at me. I'm a good girl."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what the fuck, man?
Validation for things that, you know. And I wonder that as a mom, I wonder those things. I think about like the things that I'm doing. What impact is that going to have later down the road? If I'm telling my kid to sit still and not engage in these impulses, sometimes I have to stop myself. Hey, you know what? You're 4. You should be bouncing off the walls. Okay. You need to get that energy out. So I'll stop and I try to be like, okay, dance party. We'll put a song on. You get 4 minutes, work it out. And then we got to go sit down. But I don't know that's scary in this time where we're working through our own issues from when we were raised, how I'm imparting these things onto my children. And it's very hard, I think, as a parent today to have this awareness of what these things do and how they impact you as adults as we're working through our own stuff and trying not to do that to these kids. And I don't know that our parents had that awareness. And if they did, like they did the best they could, we're doing the best we can. And it's scary to know that somehow I'm going to fuck these kids up and I don't know how. Yeah. I'm trying not to.
And even if you try, you will. Like,
there's
not to.
I'm just trying not to do it in like a way that's like the worst of way. You know what I mean? Like that they can grow up and be happy, healthy people. That's
one of the ways I feel cheated too. Cause it's like, I know they don't believe you, but to know like, no matter what, you are accepted. You have a safe space. Yes. I love you. It's never going to be taken away. You could kill somebody. It's never going to be taken away.
Yeah. You're my child,
you know?
Period.
And it's like to have that safety and that safe space, I feel like is such a way to have kids get that out of the way where they can thrive and grow and do the things they explore, learn. You might fuck up, but you know, that's life. We all fuck up. There's a chance I'll fuck up at 60, you know, like that's life.
A chance. Know? It will happen. We will.
Exactly.
You know, like it's weird because I have those moments with my kids and they each respond in a different way. You know, and I tell them, you know, mommy loves you no matter what. I don't care. You can tell me anything. I'm never gonna, you know, whatever. I love you no matter what. And to me, it's like I get emotional saying that because I never heard that. I mean, maybe I knew that. Deep down, I knew that, but it was never said to me. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, I always tell my kids, I hate sneaky. I don't like sneaky. I don't care. If you have other things, you're doing things, you broke a rule, you did something you weren't supposed to do, fine. Just don't be sneaky. Like you're not going to hide anything from me. Like,
right? They're going to have air tags and everything. They're going to be tracked.
I see it on your face. And when my mom used to say that, like it really is a thing. I know you so well. I see it on your face before you even open your mouth, fix your mouth.
And they try to play you. Yeah. And it's like, come on.
And sometimes I'll sit back and be like, okay, go ahead. Let's play the game. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see. Let's see how good you do.
Isn't that funny? Like the grace your parents give you when you look back and they're like, thought I was really playing them. They were like, not today. I ain't got time.
Because they know you better than anybody else. Oh, it's so funny. Kids are a trip. It's funny. They should be everywhere because they're entertainment. They really are.
They really are. I like I don't baby talk to kids. Like I talk to kids just like I
neither.
talk to you. And it's a trip. I love it. Well,
Yep.
what was that?
I don't know. I'm sick, girl.
Aw, feel better, boo.
Thanks.
Kids. Enjoy the kids. I'll enjoy
Yep.
my cats.
All right. See you
Love you.
later. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment. Somebody is learning how to be a person by watching you. Let that sink in.